I've lost complete control of my body. Everything just felt much more clearer. The YouTube rabbit hole, and it just goes, I'm free. I'd be like the Wizard of Oz, the guy behind the curtain, just like, let's go for a hunt. The hunger punches were coming in like, I have full control. First mistake. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Fall off the horse, get back on. Fall off the horse and I get back on. Fall off the horse and I get back on. And I fall off the horse and I get back on. So, 7 days, right? It sounds like a very long time. I can barely go without eating for about 6-8 hours. Maybe through, like, I go to bed, I wake up and I eat breakfast. And that's kind of what's been my regular routine. So just for context, I want to show you the longest water fast ever observed. To show a 7-day water fast might be what we all need to help cleanse our health, make us feel better, and have some long-term effects that will benefit us for the rest of our lifetime. Insert disclaimer right now. I am not a doctor. I am not providing any medical information.
I'm simply presenting the research that I have done on fasting for 7 days, with the main and only person being involved in the study being myself. Please?
In all seriousness, please, if you're thinking about doing a fast, definitely think about consulting your family physician or kind of going to a walk-in clinic to get some baseline levels. There was a Scottish man who fasted for 382 days. His name was Agostino Angus, known as Angus Giuseppe. He fasted from June 1965 to July 1966. You heard that right, 382 days. And lost a total of 276 pounds and set a record length for a fast. Now, was this my inspiration when I was thinking about getting into fasting or doing kind of any type of fasting? No. The simple answer is no, it wasn't. The original purpose of my fast was not even related to losing weight, getting healthier. It was more related to a few things that have happened over the last couple of months to me. Now, like I said, kind of in the disclaimer, the first thing I would suggest is that before starting any long-term fast, you consult your family physician, or you're able to go to a walk-in clinic or have services available for you if something goes wrong, somebody looking after you, something like that, okay? I made the mistake of not consulting a physician, and it led to a lot of issues down the road that I think could have been mitigated. The benefits of kind of checking in with a physician before you start any type of prolonged fast is you get your blood work done. You get to see what your insulin levels are. You get to see what your glucose levels are. You get to see if you have high blood pressure, low blood pressure, or average or normal blood pressure. You get to have some evaluations that you can kind of use as a standard. So if you go higher or lower throughout your fast when you're checking in on yourself medically, and you're able to see, okay, this is bad. Okay, this is good. Damn, this is really good. You know what I mean? And I missed out on that heavily, okay? But the small difference probably between me and you is that I have a lot of experience intermittent fasting. Now, I'm 33 now, but back in my college days, when I played basketball, I was being an athlete, you're always trying to find the competitive edge against your opponents. So where this kind of led me to, obviously through supplementation, protein intake, all that kind of stuff, where this kind of led me to was, how do I get an edge over everybody else? And I was looking into these books and these YouTube channels that started talking about fasting a lot. Or one of the first YouTube channels that I checked out was the Hodgetwins, right? Muscle twins, fasting twins, muscle twins, all that stuff. To say that I consumed almost all of their content is like an understatement. Like, consumed it like every day, non-stop. And they played a huge role kind of in influencing me to try to test this out. Because I saw with them, who were older gentlemen than I was at the time, obviously I'm in college, and they're grown-ass men with kids and stuff. And they were explaining how their HGH levels are going up, their energy is going up, they feel great, they don't feel tired, they don't feel hungry, they don't spend their time worrying about where am I going to go eat, what am I going to do, all that stuff. And for me, that seemed like such a huge stress reliever. It seemed like, oh, if they can do it, why can't I? A lot of my mindset kind of been stimulated more around that nowadays, where it's like, oh, well, if he's a millionaire, why can't I be? If he can do Forex trading, why can't I? If he can go lift weights like that, why can't I? If he can run a marathon, why can't I? And I think that's probably the best mindset I've ever been in years. But going back to me indulging into these YouTube videos, because everybody knows you could fall down the YouTube rabbit hole and it just goes, next thing you know, you're reading about the Anunnaki and the first people on Earth, right? So the first actual book that I read was a book by Brad Pilon called Eat, Stop, Eat. And in that book, it went over more of the science, an explanation of why intermittent fasting could be good, why a 24-hour fast could be beneficial. So I had throughout college, I did a bunch of different things. I mostly did a 16-8 intermittent fasting window, but there were definitely days that I would do 24-hour fast, 36-hour fasts, but nothing really more than that. It was always, that was kind of always the max. And hey, I had some amazing results because of that. Athletically, academically, I had a bunch of results from that I think I could correlate to intermittent fasting, because it definitely helped me lock in and focus on the task at hand, way more present in where I was, where my mind was not so not fog mind, but just everything just felt much more clearer. So how did we all get here, right? So here's the story. Last Saturday, a buddy came back from out west. I came back home and we had a huge freaking party, like a huge party. All the boys were there. Hawaiian shirts were worn, drinks, just such a good time. We spent time talking about everything, catching up. There's about probably 25, 30 of us. So it was just a good time, good energy, good to have everybody kind of connected again. It was a beautiful day. So all around good vibes, right? But the next morning when I woke up, I felt like shit. I was hungover, I was pooping all day, and I was like, just sitting there on the toilet thinking, on the fresh porcelain, just thinking, what the hell? I've lost complete control of my body. And during the previous night, I had a lot of deep conversations with my friends about life, about our journey, about purpose, about what's next. And just for kind of general context, all my friends are mostly wifed up, right? Wifed up and have a kid. I'm one of the few guys who is just the single guy trying to sort things out, has all these ideas and stuff. And not to say one is better, one is different, but I'm just to say, just so you can understand why I can do a 7-day water fast and completely not worry about who's waking up the kid, who's making breakfast for their girlfriend, who's helping doing all this stuff. All I have to worry about is logging in on my computer, doing my work from home. And that's it. No high stress kind of stuff, right? So very manageable. I have the environment for this to be very successful because there's nothing really pulling at my attention or anything like that, right? I was explaining to them kind of what I saw in the future. And the thing about the guys that I hang out with is that they got your back, man. They're super supportive. I could tell them I'm training to beat up Floyd Mayweather, and they would just say, well, what's the training schedule look like? They're not kind of the ones to say, oh, I don't think that's a good idea, or oh, maybe not. They're very supportive, and I think that all men kind of need a good group of other men to help, one, keep them accountable, keep them honorable, and help them push them to their limits. Once you have kind of a solid group of friends like that, you'll be amazed at how many things you can accomplish because there's nobody saying no. There's nobody saying you can't do this. There's just, you mention a plan, you're sure of it, and they're like, yeah, okay, let's do it. So I suggest anybody, if you don't have that, you need to find a group of similar-minded men to help you level up in life. So in kind of that funk from Sunday morning, I just kept thinking about the previous night with the boys, right? And I realized that I was preaching a lot during the night, and I kind of told some of them about something that happened to me a couple months ago, which I'll leave in greater detail on another video. But I had a type of what I'll just call for simple sake, because I had some sort of spiritual awakening where a friend walked me through a meditation, and I was able to essentially see that I am not this physical meat, sack of bones, sack of meat. This is not who I am. And before you just click off the video and say, this guy's freaking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, you'll realize you're just the driver. And in self-development, the driver is seen as like a consciousness, right? Maybe another analogy might be like the Wizard of Oz, the guy behind the freaking curtain. He's just like, it's kind of like that, where you control everything, but you aren't this. If I chop off my hand, am I still who I am? Or am I two separate people now? I don't know. You decide, right? I'm not here to preach anything. I'm just saying what I went through, right? And I think that all men that come to this realization, there's somebody that I watched called Bedros Kulian, and I'll link the video down in the description below. But he speaks exactly about this, where he talks about taking back control of your life. All right, what's going on? I'm just finishing up an edit for my 7-day fast that I did. And I found something super interesting as I was looking to grab a video and put it onto mine. So you can see kind of where I got the inspiration from, or at least someone who's echoing the same kind of sentiment that's resonating with me. And what I found super interesting when I went to look about the part about consciousness is this. So as you can see, this is the video that I want to use. And I was looking for the word consciousness. So if you go on YouTube transcripts right down here, you can click this button. It'll say show transcript, right? Then you'll get the whole transcript of the video. So if I try to search what he was talking about, and look, if you look in the actual video, look at the peak here. So it shows a huge amount. These are kind of shows the interest of the video, right? So right around this area, there's a huge amount of interest, right? But if I Google, so I'll first show you this, right? Human being, blah, blah, blah. Consciousness. Yeah, I'll just use this. So he right here says the word consciousness, right? But if I try to search this word, it's not found. Interesting, right? One of the biggest parts of his video is about human consciousness, but somehow this auto-generated text, which can say, if you look at what he's saying, it'll say consciousness is the driver. Let's see a smaller word. Let's see if I search driver. Not found. But we can clearly see the word driver is right here. Anyways, in my paranoid state that I am in right now, this to me clearly shows that this search engine does not want you to find where he says a clear message about consciousness, taking control of your life, and that you are the driver. So I'm just going to add this into my video and you decide.
This is just a vehicle. Like when you climb into your car, you don't become the car. You are the driver of the car. You get to dictate where the car goes. The car is the body, right? Well, consciousness is the driver. But you think that you are actually this meat sack with bones and muscles and fat and connective tissue, and you're not. You are the observer, and you get to decide what the human animal does. You get to train the human animal. And when you do, that is then that you elevate to human being. And see, once you know this, you're like, oh, shit. See, whenever I share this with people, they go, oh, my God, he's right. Because the human animal is impulsive, is instinctive, is selfish, is greedy, is reactive, is emotional. Human being, guess what? Human being is enlightened. Human being is stoic. Human being is not reactive. They respond to a situation. They don't react. They think about it. They process. They take a day or two off to really let things settle, and they respond in a way that ends any kind of conflict.
And the First 30 minutes, I would say, is mostly about the physical part of your life, where you want to make sure you're healthy, physically able to protect yourself, defend those that you love. And then he talks about the last 30 minutes is roughly around some experience around this more the spiritual side and what's important. And then there's a whole bunch of other parts, but so I won't spoil it for you. But people who come to that level of understanding of life, I think, are those that can maneuver it a lot smoothly. And what I had realized was, one, I never had control of my body, and two, I have a weak mind. So for me, this never started as, oh, I want to lose weight, let me fast for 7 days. It started off more as like a, fuck you, body, I'm the boss. You do not get rewarded unless I choose you've done a good job. Which is generally how life kind of works. Do a good job, you get paid. Do a bad job, get fired. So why would I feed my body, pay my body when it's not doing a good job? I wouldn't. So that's kind of the discipline I had to reteach my body. Like, oh, wait a sec, brother. I'm the driver. Let's get this straight right now for the rest of life. Because you had 33 years of you're the boss. But now that we're here, now that I'm aware, that's not the story that's happening no more, right? So that's kind of, it was like a FU to my body and saying I'm in control. That's what really sparked all of this. I would no longer be a slave to my body when it's hungry and it's growling, feed me. I'd be like, no, I am the captain now. Know what I mean? So a lot of this whole plan was to reestablish the relationship, because I didn't want it to make, this might sound overly complex, but for me, it was almost about like rebuilding the relationship. So rebuilding the connection from the mind to the body, because there is a use to be able to have your body do what you want. I tell my body things like, hey, if you give me maximum output, I'll make sure and reward you with food that you like, food that is nutritious, food that will keep you running with the least amount of energy, right? Because that's all your body really wants. It just wants to keep going. That's all it's doing, because it needs to intake to keep going. So if you can control it and say, no, not right now. No, not in an hour. Tomorrow. No, misbehave. 2 days now. You can then master your mind and your body. But don't let all that wisdom fool you, because I went into this fast very ill prepared. And when I do my next kind of 7-day fast, I'll make sure I probably either go keto before and have a better way to break the fast at the end. Even though I think I broke it in a decent manner, I still think there might be a better way to kind of have better results. And I'm always about improving, right? That's kind of the whole point of this channel, why me and you are talking right here today. It's all about improvement. It's all about self-development. It's all about pushing past where you think your limit is. And let's find out where that new limit is, right? So let's break down the 7 days. I'd say the first 3 days were probably the worst, where the hunger was hitting the most, where I wouldn't say on edge, but I would definitely say short fused. Like, who's texting me? Who's calling me? Versus, oh, hey, how you doing? Ooh, a text from blah, 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 blah. It was not like that. It was more like, who's that? Who's this? Who's that? Right? And from a physical side, the reaction to the fasting, the biggest issue I had was the sleep. I was not able to sleep well at all the first 3 days. I had crazy bed sweats. I had to wash my sheets every single day. Yeah, gross. Switch my shirt like 2-3 times a night. Just nasty. Just the toxins just coming out saying, I'm free. And just gross all around, right? And one of the things that helped me the most to kind of get through the first 3 days, obviously I work, so the 9 to 5, that helped time go by. But when work was done, I found that I was locked. Like I was reading books, I was studying chess, I was studying my Spanish. I was just trying to find a way to stay occupied and just like get to bedtime. That was like the main thing. But my body kept waking up, and I think it was like trying to say, give me food, I need food now, Or it's kind of like calling to the ancestors, let's go for a hunt. Something weird, but it was just on edge, not very restful. A lot of restless nights the first 3 days for sure. But your body finds a way. And I think that it intuitively knows that when it's time to save resources and nutrients for an activity, it knows that it has to have something to. So one of the other things that I did to kind of stay busy, or at least get some sort of physical activity in and keep my mind busy, was I would go for these long walks at the end of the day, roughly at night around 9:30. I didn't want to walk in the day because I don't want to be extra hot, dehydrated, all that kind of stuff, because I was already just sucking on water nonstop. Here in Canada, it's spring, so the weather isn't too bad. It happened to be really nice this whole week. But day 4, 5, and 6, the people who tell you, oh, I didn't feel hunger, I wish I was one of them. The hunger punches were coming in like, feed me, feed me, feed me, feed me. And now it's just like Dr. Xing it. Like, I have full control. So at that point on day 4, 5, 6, obviously I said I didn't prep prematurely for this. So I had no idea, except for looking online, that, oh, my salt levels must be low. Oh, my electrolytes must be low. Oh, my potassium intake might be low. Oh, my omega-3 might be low. Oh, my, like, after kind of the hunger was hitting me hard, I was seeing online people who had previous experience with fasting talking about salt intake. So I started kicking back salt and water for a lot, like a teaspoon, a tablespoon a day. So I would kind of put a teaspoon in 3 different glasses that I would drink maybe, and whatever the math is to add up to a tablespoon. Because what I actually did was I put the Himalayan salt in a bag and I just crunched a whole bunch. And then after I would take the teaspoon and after just put it in the water. My guess is 3 to 4 teaspoons is a tablespoon, but I don't know. I don't measure in spoons. It's just a guess. So I'm just telling you what I did. So you do what you want to do. And after that, the hunger started going away. So I was like, ooh, I might be onto something. Watching Dr. Berg's videos and watching Dr. Ekberg's videos and watching Dr. Jason's videos from here in Canada. And the common theme was water fasting has amazing results for you if you can stick to it. So now I'm drinking on day 4, 5, 6. I'm drinking salt water and a hydration mix that I got from the supplement store. And we're on day like 6.5 now. So at this point, I'm in an absolute groove. Once I've kind of conquered the hunger piece, I'm in an absolute groove. My mind is super clear. It's not like foggy and lazy. Like after you drink or after you smoke or something like that, it's like super clear. Everything, like my sense of touch and feeling is heightened, spidey senses. And I'm just crushing work by like 5,000% increase in productivity. Don't ask me how I calculated that. It just feels that way, okay? But I guess you're wondering, oh, well, Leonard & Co., if everything is going so well, why did you stop? Well, everything was not going so well, is what I learned. So I felt great, but just because I feel great doesn't mean my actual inside of my body is actually having a party time just like me, right? So this is when I went to get the hydration mix on, I think, day 5. No, I went to get the salt water on day 4, and then I got the hydration mix on day 5. And then I started using the hydration mix 1 scoop per day. And then I started like watching more and more videos, and I saw that, okay, you probably need more supplements because all the supplements that I need are not going to be in this hydration mix. So I go to the pharmacy just next to my house and I pick up the recommended supplements, right? Different vitamins and stuff. And then at my pharmacy nearby, there's a blood pressure machine. So me thinking, oh man, I've been crushing this. Let me check my blood pressure. First mistake. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. I go and do my blood pressure and here's the results. Right? Worrisome. Very worrisome. So I get the medication, I come home, and I start researching. is this healthy? Is this not healthy? Because I know on the actual box it said, this is not healthy. So I get home, right? And I start looking into it a little bit more. Side note, right? Like, I'm a pretty big guy now. I'm about 300 pounds. With the 7-day fast, I've lost 18 pounds. So I'm down to 282. There's definitely more to go once I kind of sort out the whole medical stuff. So I go to the pharmacy on day 6. I do the evaluation for the blood pressure, and it comes back super high. So in my head, I'm like, okay, do I stop the fast and try to go see a doctor, get some blood work done, see if any of my organs are failing? Because I'm not a doctor, once again. But on the chart that I looked at, the average blood pressure is 120 over 80. These results that I had are way over that. So I thought to myself, okay, is this just because I'm stressed out? Maybe I'm more stressed than I realize. Even though I feel like I'm calm, maybe I'm actually stressed out. I didn't feel stressed out though. I hadn't had coffee in a super long time. I've hit all my expectations for the week. I'm going to do all my workouts. I'm not really missing anything. What could be kind of causing all of this? Or is just this machine defective? So today, day 7, I go to a different pharmacy. And while I'm at that pharmacy, I check my arm. And this time, I get these results. Now, they're a little bit better, but still in the worrisome category. So at that point, I spoke with the pharmacist for like a brief consultation, and we discussed kind of, well, what does this all mean? And he offered me a couple of solutions and made some suggestions. And then I came home to try to see, hey, well, has there been anybody else who's been fasting and then has had a huge spike in blood pressure? Because everything that I've seen, it's supposed to decrease blood pressure. But that wasn't the case for me. So obviously somewhere something went wrong. My mind starts thinking, because my mind's I'm an overthinker. And I have absolutely no problem with that, because what I realized is the title overthinker, for me at least, has helped me resolve so many problems in my life and find solutions. And I think that the point of where I'm at with this discovery and spiritual awakening and stuff, I really just look at people who say I'm an overthinker as, oh, you just don't think enough. Like, you don't even have your life thought out. So anyway, it's funny because I had somebody say, oh, like, do you have ADHD? To try to say that's almost like an insult to me. And I was like, nah, I'm just focused on a bunch of different things. I'm sorry, you can't keep up. So that's how I take it now. It's like, oh, I didn't know you couldn't keep up. And this is not really an insult. It's like, oh, it must be too fast for you. No, my mindset from last week was simple. I'm the boss. My body can't tell me shit. I run this shit. So my head is like, I'm willing to go all the way on this without a doubt, as far as I possibly can, right? Because that to me shows that's true determination in your mind. That's, I'm locked in. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. And nobody can stop you either. When you get your mind locked in, something you want to do, get a good group of friends, you're locked in. Nobody can stop you. You're unstoppable. Stop making excuses. Stop being a victim. Oh, it's because of this. Oh, it's because of this. Oh, no. Overcome, adapt. Overcome, adapt. Learn a skill that not a lot of people have. Monetize it. Life is not difficult. I'm filled with a lot of people in my life that talk a lot about this. Oh, everything in moderation. No, dude. Everything in moderation makes you in moderation. That makes you average. This whole thing that's like, it's said as like almost like a self-help thing. Everything in moderation. No, dude. Cut the alcohol out. Cut it out. Go to the gym every day. Every day. Every day. You might do push-pull. You might do resistance training. You might do a yoga session. You might do just a cardio session. Every day, nonstop consistency. Get out of this average mindset of, oh, I'm just going to live a cozy. No. Live the best life you absolutely can. And push yourself to the brink. every single day. Because at the end of it all, when you're looking back and you're like, damn, I push myself every day. I live the greatest life. I'm ready. You know what I mean? Living a life of regret or, oh, I wish I would have done that. Or, no, man. No. Enough of that, bro. Enough of all of that. Enough of all of it, dude. And I think one of the most revealing parts of this was, like, ask yourself, do you have control of your body? When you go for an interview, do you get butterflies in your stomach? What about when you're going on a date? What about when your boss says, hey, we need to talk about something, come into my office? How does your body feel? Are you nervous? Are you shriveled up? Or are you calm, relaxed, chest back, breathing, in full control? What are you like? That's what I was going for. How to be stoic in its absolute form. How to be concentrated when you're being distracted. My stomach felt like it was pulling on all my organs. Feed me. But no. Just as simple as that. Nope. No. I respectfully disagree. You will get no food today. Respectfully. You know what I mean? With love always. And the whole idea of kind of control, self-mastery, I think I alluded to earlier, but I'll just say it again. Those who have the most self-control are the ones making the best day traders, are the ones innovating every day, are the ones creating a new path of the future, solving today's problems. So it really comes to, how do I get to that place? And this was one of my first steps in many that I did, that I'll do again in a more health conscious way. I'll go tomorrow, get some blood work done at my local clinic, and check the results. And then after, I'll check again the blood pressure, and then once kind of things are in the normal range, I'll probably do another 7-day. But like I said, I'll prep it with ketogenic diet, so my body is already kind of fat stimulated or fat ready to burn the fat, versus being kind of carb ready, where if you do any kind of exercise while you're fasting, you just feel destroyed like a truck ran you over, which is a bit how I felt after those walks, but never give up. So after all that is said, I went yesterday to get my blood pressure checked and get the supplements, and then today I got checked again, and the results were not within the range that I liked. So I came to the conscious decision to, you know what? Let's get out of this for now and accept that you made it. Because the thing is, I was planning to do 30 days after. That's how well it was going in day 5 and 6. Once I got the hydration mix and the salt water, I was like, bro, I can do 30 days. That's how locked I was. So like I said, tomorrow I'll go in for some blood work, and we'll be able to find out exactly what's wrong with your boy. Hopefully, it's nothing super significant. It was just the salt from drinking salt water, and maybe the salt from the hydration mix. And I'm hoping it's just that. It's just, hey, maybe next time kick it down on the salt, maybe less salt and just water, and find another kind of alternative to make sure I get all my nutrients in my body. And this will just be kind of documenting my own journey. This is not to say, hey, do what I've done, or hey, this is a good idea, not a good idea. Like I said, talk to your doctor. I just went on a whim and just did it for a psychological kind of win, and it ended up kind of showing me that there's some underlying issues that I need to kind of fix, which is great, because for me, I don't look at that as a negative. I look at it, okay, boom, this is the issue, solve that issue, get right back in the game. Know what I mean? And that's the mindset everybody, I think, should have, is just fall off the horse, get back on, fall off the horse, and I get back on, fall off the horse, and I get back on, and I fall off the horse, and I back on. Click the notification bell to get more songs like this. Stay tuned for the next upcoming videos. What I'm planning on doing is maybe another 7-day fast, 21-day fast, and even a 30-day fast, or maybe just doing one fast and showing the results at those points. And that will be more focused on, let's say, weight loss and mind mastery. Now that I have kind of all the supplements here, I might as well put them to good use and try this again with more success. Because when you fail at life, it's not really about giving up. It's about finding a way to overcome an obstacle and doing better. And for me, that's exactly where my mind's at right now is do better. You can do more than 7 days. Do 10. Then when you get to do 11, challenge yourself. So thanks so much for tuning in on today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you hated it, let me know what you didn't like about it in the comments. Are you thinking about fasting? Have you ever done a fast before? Who are some of the people that you look for research for fasting? I'll put some in the description below, and I hope that those resources can help you if it's something you're thinking about doing. Until the next video, have a good day.